Sorry about that.
Okay, let's do this again. And live. Oop, just kidding.
And live.
Okay. Are we live on all?
Now we're live on all frequencies.
Okay.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Happy Wednesday before Thanksgiving. Heather took off her hat. We're here to talk about comics. And Heather had a heavy week. I had a light week.
Heavy as in just like a lot of emotions. Okay,
True.
So I'm just gonna jump right in. So I have the Misplaced. Oh god, this is chapter 1. I don't know how many chapters this is going to be, but this is about 2 lovers who died together on a shipwreck, of all things. But the man's spirit is trying to find the woman's in the afterlife. It's really cool because he's kind of going through this version of heaven, trying to find her soul and like not being able to find it and confused why he can't find it. Has conversations with angels where they're like, just don't fucking touch anything. Just like leave it alone. This is everything you've ever wanted. Just live it. And he's like, no.
Angels sound like everybody in my life sometimes.
Yeah, that's how I felt when I was reading it, because, like, he would do something he wasn't supposed to do, and these angels would come out of nowhere and be like, dude, what the fuck? This is, like, paradise. What are you doing? And he's like, well, my lover isn't here with me, so...
What else am I gonna do?
Yeah. So he kind of begins this journey of traveling through the afterlife, gets kicked out of heaven, I guess, because in order to, like, find her, he has to break a bunch of the rules. And I really enjoyed this. I did not make it sound very good, but it actually was way better than I thought. Source Point Press has been putting out a lot of stuff that I've been really enjoying. The art is really weird in it, which I discovered that I'm actually really into.
All right.
Which I feel like a lot of the art for these series is kind of the same, but I like how dark and unclear it is. So yes, this is the Misplaced.
All right.
Chapter 1.
Chapter 1.
And while we're talking about lovers, this is my other one. This is Goth. Young Lovers at War. Another source point.
You know, as you described that book to me, that title does not seem appropriate.
I think it has something to do with the Invisigoths.
Okay.
I think it's a play on words. Whatever that means.
I think you know what that word means, or that phrase means.
I'm going to pretend I don't. So this is about a man and a woman who are in love in a tribe back in the Roman days because they're fighting Romans. The man is very reckless because he does not get to be with her because she is marrying someone from a neighboring tribe to solidify their tribes. And he's very upset about it. It's narrated by the woman, which I thought was very interesting because the story itself is about the man. So you kind of get to see, like, her point of view, the way she tells it rather than, like, seeing it. Some
XJW book.
Yes.
The woman's in the forefront. How dare.
I don't even know how to react to that. But anyway, he's very reckless because he's very upset that they don't get to be together. So he's their best fighter. Every time he goes in, he kind of gives it his all, doesn't really think about the consequences of, you know, he could die at any moment, but that's kind of what he wants. And she has to watch this whole thing happen. Again, I really enjoyed the art for this one too. It's but yeah, this is Goth, Young Lovers at War. This is just a one-shot, which is cool, but also, like, not because I want to see what happens to the man at the end, because they kind of just left it open-ended. Like, is he gonna die or not?
So is that, like, what's the go to the very, oh gosh, back again. What is this? So is this, like, going to be a different kind of story about goths?
Yeah, I think this is just completely separate, because there's no one in here. Unless it's, like, a time travel thing or whatever, like, different lives that they've lived. But I don't think that this goth has anything to do with these goths. I I don't know. But yeah, this was very satisfying for me. And I'm not going to lie, the only reason I got it originally was because it was called Goth.
Yes. They get you.
That's how they get me.
Okay, so a book I don't have handy, but I did read, is called Basketful of Heads. It's Joe Hill's new book, and the person who's doing the art is Leo Max. I can't tell you much about them. I had to look it up to know. But I can't decide if I actually like this book for the story itself or if I actually just enjoy it for the art, because the art really reminds me of some early 70s, just like horror films. And the story itself is it's about a young woman. Her name is June Branch, but her boyfriend is doing police work. Oof, my dude. Are you going to make it?
Yeah, I'm going to make it. I'm so gaggy.
Her boyfriend is doing police work in this small town and becomes really close friends with the sheriff. And as they're leaving for him to go back to school, this whole home invasion thing has been happening with these prisoners who have broken out of jail. And so they're having this big dinner, and the prisoners end up breaking in during the dinner and kind of just, like, killing people.
Nice.
And she gets
That wasn't nice.
She gets a hold of this axe, and the axe that has magic powers, and when you cut off people's heads with it, their heads survive and can talk.
That's sick.
So I can't decide. I can't decide what I like about it, and I'm gonna have Heather read it so I can have her tell me why I like it.
I'll read it tonight.
I just need somebody to tell me what I like about it.
Okay.
I think if somebody's close to me who knows the things I like, you might be able to, like, pinpoint this is the reason.
Yeah, why exactly you like it?
Yeah, why do I like this book?
Okay. I'll read it when I go into work.
Okay. Then next we have Invisible Kingdom. This is issue number 7.
I'm bad. Yeah, this is number 7.
Heather has not read this issue.
I'm so sorry.
She is a little bit behind, but this just continues the story of the nun and her friends.
Vess and Drix.
Vess and Drex and Grix and whoever their names are. But they, last issue, had been caught by some space pirate type deals. And the Grix, the captain of the ship, is kind of, I wouldn't say bending to their will, but kind of seeing their side, or it seems like she's working with them. But who knows?
We'll find out.
We'll find out.
Okay.
It's still really great. Christian Ward's art's still really excellent.
G. Willow Wilson's
killing
it.
Yeah, the story's really interesting. I really like it. And then they also kind of expand more on the idea of, like, the nun, like, being so close to Grix. I can't think of the word, like, what, imprinting, I guess.
Oh, okay.
On the captain. So,
like Jacob did to
yes,
the baby?
Yes.
Okay.
Just like Jacob did to the baby in Twilight, which was some weird shit that I can't handle.
Yeah, dude, we filmed this with front cam. Anyway, so I have this nice little Uncanny XMen facsimile number 266. This is Gambit's entrance. I have not read this yet, but I assume since it's been out for a very long time that everyone who is anyone knows what happens. But I do, however, want to show you how they draw Gambit's entrance because I love it so much. There it is. Look at that man.
How big is his neck?
It's big. But look at those abs.
My neck is thick as fuck, and my abs are just, like, so washboard you can't do anything about it.
And his tiny legs. Ugh, come on, dude.
Bitch,
Gambit.
Bitch skips legs days.
Legs days. And he holds that cigarette really weird. How many fingers does he have? Okay, anyway. Yes, this is Uncanny X-Men. This is Gambit's nice little entrance. If I remember correctly, though, I don't feel like this is his first appearance. I feel like he made an appearance in one of the annuals.
Just like in the background waving.
Yeah. I feel like this is his first like, issue. Like, actual issue. I might be wrong, though. I just assumed that, like, I feel like Gambit's first appearance was in an annual from February 1991.
That's oddly specific.
January or February 1991.
Do you want to use my phone and look this information up?
Yes, please look it up, because this is going to drive me crazy. Because I feel like this was only a big deal because this was his first issue where he's introduced as an actual character and not just, like, a background character. No,
X-Men. Gambit made his first appearances in Uncanny XMen Annual number 14th, July 1990.
I was close! I was so close! It was an annual! And the 90s. I got that right!
What was the date in 1991, though?
Yeah, I don't know. That's going to be bothering me forever, though. Why am I remembering February 1991?
It's just, like,
something happened.
Very specific date. Okay, so then I am next.
Now I'm going to be stressing about that for the rest of my life.
What happened in 1991?
I'm going to have to call my mom up and have this conversation that I don't want to have with her.
So, as Heather's having this existential crisis, I'm going to talk about New Mutants, issue number 2, and then I also read Fallen Angels issue number 2, and Xforce issue number 2.
I would have only been 2 years old. Like, what is going on?
And New Mutants, they were arrested in space after being dumped by the Starjammers, and...
Sorry, that sounds like a whole thing.
It was a whole thing.
Sounds like a reality show.
It kind of feels like a reality show.
Dumped by the Starjammers.
It was really... I fucking love this book. It has, like, this nice little comedic effect to it, and it's just so fun. It's so fun. The art is really great. I really enjoy these characters and watching them in space, so... God damn, dude.
Sorry,
I'm so afraid you're gonna yak all over me.
I'm just gonna Ralph all over my comics. I'm okay. I'm fine.
Okay. So that's New Mutants. It kind of just continues that. You learn more about Roberto da Costa. It's all about him. It's pretty much just him being a narcissistic asshole the entire time and talking about himself.
I love that.
It was really great. And then Xforce issue 2 kind of just picks off from, spoiler alert, when Professor X got shot in the face.
If you don't know that by now, where have you been? They reference it in, like, all of the books that have come out since then.
It's true, they have.
I didn't even read it, and I knew about it because Champ told me.
Yeah, I did tell you. So, Professor X got shot in the face, and now they're trying to pick up the pieces and figure out how to resurrect him.
Which we all know is possible, because he's the one that did it.
Yeah, so then they're also trying to learn more about the assassins that infiltrated the island, and that part is wild as fuck and really awesome. So basically, I'm not going to ruin it. I'll try not to ruin it for everybody else. But it's cool, trust me, and Wolverine and Kid Omega are off on the hunt to try to figure out what's going on. I love it.
Pretty wild.
It's wild.
It's wild.
It's fucking wild.
Okay.
And then issue number 2 of Fallen Angels just kind of brings together more like Psylocke, X-23, and Cable stuff. I did not enjoy this issue as much as I did the first issue.
Which one was it?
Fallen Angels.
Fallen Angels, okay.
I kind of like the art the first issue, but like the coloring is so dark.
Yeah, I think that was why I liked the first issue, was just how dark it was. But is it like a consistent thing where it's just going to be dark all the time?
It's just really dark.
Okay.
And I suppose I get it. They're on an island around fires and stuff, but I don't know. As I was reading it, I was like, I can't see any of the stuff in the background unless it's like a lit photo of like Psylocke from like the crotch up and seeing her titties and like stuff.
No, I feel about that.
And that's all I have to say about X-Men books. I say pick up New Mutants and X-Force. New Mutants if you like silly stuff. X-Force if you like some action. Fallen Angels is just alright.
If you like the deep, dark void
of
titties.
And who doesn't love the deep, dark void of titties?
Yes.
And
speaking
with that...
of voids, we have The Last God. This is issue number 2. Well, I guess it's considered chapter. This is chapter 2 of the Felspire Chronicles. Still confusing, but still just beautiful. This issue jumps back and forth.
I think it's just confusing because I haven't learned everybody's names quite
right.
yet.
I get it for the most part, like I had mentioned. I think the one thing that I just don't get is, like, the evil that they are trying to, vanquish.
Yeah.
So basically, like, in the first issue, you get this group of fighters who long ago had defeated the big bad evil or whatever, and they discover that it actually isn't gone, that the King Tyr, who was within the group when they were fighting it, he had taken on whatever it had been. So this is them, the queen, the bodyguards and stuff who had been there originally. They are getting away because the city has fallen. While that is like their present time, it flashes back to like how they had met the future queen, how they all kind of got to know each other and stuff, and kind of kickstarts the events of the original fight. That's pretty much it. You get to know a lot about, like, Tyr and his brother. I guess not a lot about it, but
you get at least, like, that background. It's, like, definitely filling in the pieces as it goes along.
Right. But again, like, the art is still incredible. Other than a few cloudy details, like, I feel like I'm finally understanding, like, what is happening.
Yeah.
Maybe I do need to read the stories in the back. Maybe that would help a little more.
That's also what I've been thinking, for sure.
But yeah, I still really enjoy this book.
Yeah, I think it's like a mixture of the art is really, really pretty, and then, the story just is kind of grabbing enough where you want to know. I want to know what happens with the main character, and I want to know what happened in the past.
Mm-hmm. I love the queen. How she's so badass. But, like, when you see her in the past, she is not necessarily quiet, but she is kind of ruled by her father. So it's interesting to see the difference between, like, present-day queen and the past, like, quieter woman. It's just a very nice contrast. But yeah, this is Last God.
Some fantasy shit.
Yeah, super, super fantasy. It is super fun. Sorry.
Super fun.
Super fun.
Super high funisty.
Yes. Should I go?
Yeah, you should probably go.
Okay. So I have this book here, Resonant. This family has been separated. So this issue is told in 3 different parts. You have the father who is on the island fighting the cannibals. You have the middle brother who left to join a weird Christian, like, convent thing or whatever. It's disturbing as all hell. More disturbing than the actual, like, evil that's happening in this book. Like, the fact that this little boy is taken in by Christians and they're like, we'll keep you safe. That's really weird to me. And then you have the oldest daughter.
Christians are scary.
They're terrifying. And then you have the oldest daughter and the youngest son dealing with, like, not having any help. Because if you have listened to me talk about this before, the youngest son is really sick and he is running out of the medicine that they have. And she's also trying to fight off bears that are, like, trying to get into the cabin. But not, like, big bears, just little baby bears who are probably just hungry.
Not big bears.
It's just a tiny little bear.
Oh, yeah, that is a small bear.
Yeah, but it's really funny because she's like, damn it, now I have to go fight off this bear. But yeah, this book is, I still really, really enjoy this. I think the art is really cool. There's, like, a twist, not so much a twist at the end. That is obviously going to lead into the next arc of the story where you get to see bad guys infiltrating. I don't know if they're infiltrating. That's what it seemed like to me. But yeah, that's Resonant. And now I go again.
Yes, you do.
Okay, so I have the plot. This story is wild. It's all over the place. Basically, it's a ghost story, but it's not about, like, ghosts. It's about a house that's haunted. And it only haunts the family that is in the house. It's a generational thing, I guess. But the constant theme throughout this series is, like, in order to receive, first you must give. And so the...
Kind of like Full Metal Alchemist.
Yeah. The brother, Alphonse, is... that's not his name.
I was like, whoa.
Yeah, no,
Did they just rip off Full Metal Alchemist?
That was just for fun.
That was really good. You got me.
So the only living brother, I guess, I almost said Ed this time, but the brother in this, he is given custody of his older brother's 2 kids. So they're the only living ones left in the family, and he is trying to uncover the secrets of the family so that he can keep these kids safe, because he has been the fuck up in his entire life, but it's because he knew something was wrong with the house and their family, so he tried to distance himself from it. But since he's been back, like, things have been happening, and the only thing that he cares about is, like, protecting these kids, because it's the only responsibility that was given to him, and he wants to prove that he can actually do it. There is a teacher who the brother has, like, known pretty much their entire lives. She has, like, some sort of ability where she is also able to see the bad in the house. So she is trying to work with him to figure out what is going on so that they can protect the kids. And meanwhile, the sheriff is a huge piece of shit and is like, you destroyed this house and get out of my town. We don't want you here. I think he says that at one point.
Let's call that not surprising.
Yeah, it wasn't surprising at all. But it also is kind of sucks because when the cop and the brother were, like, younger, they were friends. And the cop was like, no, my job is to protect this town. You are not doing a good job of helping me, so we're not friends anymore. But yeah, it's really dark. There's, like, a lot of creepy things that happen. Like, the kid goes to take a shit at school and there's, like, frogs that just pile up in the toilet and gets really scared. I mean, I would be terrified if that happened too. But yeah, so
that'd be very unsettling.
Yeah, it was so, like, even just, like, watching it, because there's kids that, like, put one in there to, like, prank him. Mm-hmm. And they're like, oh, you're just gonna fly right up into his butthole. And then he's like, oh, it's just a frog, it's not a big deal. So he's, like, going to pick it up, and then it just, like, these frogs multiply.
Yeah. It's creepy.
But it kind of hints that the evil in the house is, like, almost powered by water, is what it seems like, because anytime there's, like, running water or, like, the frog thing in the toilet, for instance, like, something happens. So it's very interesting.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and I'm curious, very curious to see what exactly is happening in this book.
All right. I don't know how I'm gonna
follow that up.
Yeah. I have Martian Manhunter, or in this issue, Martian Manhunter.
Oh, shit.
Which also is alluding to things that happen in this issue.
Oh, I thought it was like a prequel to that show, Mindhunter, on Netflix, featuring Jonathan Groff.
That would be awesome. Mm-hmm. I would read that Martian Manhunter book.
What if, because his name is John... What if he becomes Jonathan Groff, who is also in Hamilton, the musical.
Who then goes on to play the man who's in Mindhunter.
I forget what his name is in Mindhunter. I just know Jonathan Groff. I'm just going to keep saying that. That's our theme for the day. Jonathan Groff.
So in this issue, John and his partner delve into John's mind to try and defeat his demons. Fear, shame,
is it thick?
And I don't remember what the third one is.
Alec, is what thick? I need to know. What were you talking about?
Yes. The 3 great beasts are shame, anger,
and kaboom.
And duty.
Oh, duty.
So they're kind of just... Kyle, start reading your books. Okay.
Kyle, read your books.
Come on. But yes, this just...
plot. Oh! That was really good.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry I didn't catch that when you had... Damn it! That was really good. And the plot thickens.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm so sorry. Talk about Martian Manhunter.
John and his partner in his mind defeating his demons to try to help save Earth.
Oh, okay.
And that's the best way.
And this is only 12 issues, right?
Yep.
Do you think they'll be able to tie up what's happening within the next 2?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah? Okay.
I think so. If not, like, I feel like that'd be weird. Because a lot of stuff happens in, like, each issue. Mm-hmm. And even it being this long, it kind of seems unnecessary. It's kind of been, like, drawn out a little bit.
Right.
Where it's like, well, I get that, like, some of this character development and stuff is, like, there, but it's kind of unnecessary. It doesn't really add to the character. And they've kind of just, like, repeated the things that have happened within, like, issues. So you could have done it in, like, smaller pieces. But I still like it. The art's still really great. The story's still interesting. And I have overall enjoyed it.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah. I'm done.
Okay. So next we will talk about the one we both have. This is Jane Valkyrie Foster.
Yes. Kyle read Venom 20. Google the spoiler. Johnny runs Marvel now.
Don't you dare say that. Don't you dare.
Well, we'll see. I'll Google the spoiler right now.
Google it.
You talk about Jane Foster.
Okay. So in this, Mephisto is working with a man. God damn, I can never remember his name. Did they even say his name? Anyway.
But they didn't say his real name. They just said that he was, like, the Reaper.
Okay, so he's working with the Reaper to do bad things so that he can get his brother back. So he has the soul of Doctor Strange, and Valkyrie has to figure out a way to defeat him to get the soul back. Otherwise, it will mean the end of Doctor Strange. So she has a lot of complications with fighting him in this issue because he's given weapons that can easily defeat hers for whatever reason. But yeah, she figures out a way, she gets help from friends, and stuff is concluded.
Yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah. It's I feel like the same thing happens in every issue of this. And not that it's like a bad thing, but it's kind of has like a formula at this point where it's like, you know, she's Valkyrie. She explains who she is. Something happens, there's a bad guy. She can't defeat bad guy. She figures it out. Everything is okay.
No, that's really good.
Yeah.
That's a perfect way to describe it. Because I also kind of felt the same way. I was just like, all right, I get this. We did this, like, with Bullseye.
Right. Like, she always has that thing where she's like, I'm Valkyrie, but if I can't defeat this, like, who am I really? And then it's like, oh, wait, I'm Valkyrie. Right. I can do whatever the fuck I want. And then she figures it out. So... And again, not that it's like a bad thing, but it's just we kind of know what to expect at this point.
Yeah. I will stay on and see what happens, especially like a switch of writer like in there might change up the story a little bit. We'll see.
Yeah.
Though maybe it is just one of those things where they're like, well, what can we really do?
Yeah, what else can we do with this character?
Because it's like the whole idea is that she sees death hanging over people's heads and just wants to save them. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yep. Okay.
Are you going? Or do you want me to go?
I can go.
Okay.
It's okay. If I talk, I don't feel like ralphing everywhere.
Okay.
So we have wizards. So something happened at Dark Horse. We don't know what. It went from Tommy gun wizards to machine gun wizards to just wizards. This is the last issue. So I don't know why they waited until this to do this weird name change. But regardless, this issue deals with the conclusion of Al Capone selling magic to people. You got the big frog who just wants to get back home. That's where the magic comes from. So he strikes a deal with the detectives that if they help him get back home, he'll help them defeat Al Capone. There it is. Wizards. I didn't not like this series. I thought it was a little rushed. I felt like they could have maybe done like 5 or 6 issues and it would have made more sense because each issue was very compacted and like I feel like too much happens in it to keep people interested. I am not people, so I thought it was
still good.
Yeah, I still enjoyed it. I like the fact that Christian Ward wrote the story, and there was a different artist doing the art, but the art is very similar to Christian Ward art.
Yeah,
like just mostly the colors, I guess. But yeah, it said the end ? So there might be another Wizards. Who knows?
Maybe they'll be able to find a title that'll actually work for them.
Maybe that's why they ended it. For now.
I took a lot of time looking for that spoiler, and nobody put it up on a site that I could read right away. So I'll just check it out later. Though I did just read that Venom number 22 or 20 concludes Absolute Carnage.
That makes more sense then.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've been reading Absolute Carnage off the wall, and I finished number 5, and I was just like, it just doesn't seem like it's over. So Heather and I were talking about this yesterday. So reading that makes me feel better that the story just seemed like it was not concluded whatsoever. Which is my big problem with Donny Cates, is that he does not know how to end a story very well. And that's it. That's all I want to say about that. Now I'm going to talk about John Constantine, Hellblazer. This is the first issue of...
Someone came in on last Wednesday and was asking if that series had started, and he was like, it's a new Hellblazer. And I was like, Hellraiser? And he said, Hellblazer. I was like, okay, cool, Hellblazer. I was like, I know what that is. So I went to go look it up and just kept typing in Hellraiser, and I was like, why is this not pulling up anything?
John Constantine, or Pinhead.
The
Hellblazer. It's just all about Pinhead solving crimes, but just John Constantine, but it's Pinhead.
Oh god, I would love that.
But this just starts the new series. The idea is that John Constantine has been gone for 15 years, and he's returning. I read a little snippet in the back that the way they tied this into the Sandman universe is... I read it somewhere. Yes, Beast Boy. Is that... Where the fuck? I don't know where it was at in there. It was in there. That there was a Books of Magic issue he was in, and he, like, disappears in that, and that was 15 years ago. So I think that's what the whole idea is here. So he's kind of just making friends. He gets kidnapped by a group of people and gets... a group of people, I guess, and gets kind of, like, teamed up with a teen, and they're on a mission to find out about angels as well. Pinhead in a blazer jacket.
Hell yeah.
I'd watch that too.
I would be so into that.
But I can't decide if I want to stay on it because I felt like I didn't understand what was happening.
How does Batman Damned play into this?
Not at all.
So he was gone for 15 years and just, like, pop back up randomly to be like, Batman, let me help you solve this mystery.
I don't know. But
okay, I guess my question is...
Because this is part of the Sandman universe. This has nothing to do with Batman Damned, which is its own self-contained universe, I guess, kind of.
Okay, my question, since I don't know anything about the Sandman universe, not a thing, has Hellblazer always been a part of, like, the Sandman universe?
Well, that was, like, the thing I was reading in here is, like, no.
Okay.
He, like, made an appearance in the Sandman universe in Books of Magic. And then I think for this reboot, they wanted to bring it into the Sandman universe, maybe just to bring in more things so that...
Okay, the Sandman just stole him. Which is fine. I just didn't understand.
I mean, I don't know 100%. Like, that's just information I don't have.
Okay, I will ask Dave.
Ask Whit. Whit would know.
Whit's really into that.
Yeah, Whit would absolutely for sure know this information.
Okay, I will ask him.
We're gonna dial 1-800-WIT. He'll tell us what's going on.
911. We need Whit.
Hello.
Do you not have Siri? I didn't even say Siri.
Okay. I don't. Wait. I have any.
I have
oh
one.
Shit.
I have one more, and then we'll talk.
I forgot about it.
Okay, so I have...
Then we'll talk.
Midnight Sky,
Are
number 3.
Are we breaking up?
This...
Oh, no.
You're gonna make me Ralph. Just made me too emotional. So Midnight Sky is the one about aliens. This is the mother whose 2 kids were born from an alien father. What
was the other alien book you're reading?
I I don't know.
Okay, continue.
I
Sorry.
have too many right now. But yeah, anyway, the mom knows that her kids are aliens, so she's trying to keep them safe while also trying to prove to the world that, like, these aliens aren't necessarily bad. Clearly, because her kids are really good. There's some that are bad and some that are
And her
not.
daughter just can't touch her son, otherwise she'll kill him.
Right. Well, the blood. Like her blood,
Yeah.
yes. I'm glad you remember that, because I completely forgot about it.
I remember it because I thought that it was pretty wild.
Yeah. So she is traveling with her kids to get to some place, and along the way they run into her brother or her cousin. Related somehow, I can't...
Her brother cousin?
Yeah, brother cousin. But they were kind of estranged because this mother had killed his mother because she was an alien, but he didn't understand that, so he, out of context, is like, you killed my mom, bitch, I'll kill your kids. He says that. But yeah, so he's running a whole, like, black market of, like, weapons and stuff to fight the aliens while not understanding that his mother was an actual alien. It's weird. It's a weird book. I'm gonna keep on it because I love the mom. She is awesome. And I love the dog, too.
What's the dog do?
Absolutely nothing.
All
just a dog. Just follows him around.
Just good dog. Good dog.
Very, very good boy. They kill a rabbit at one point, and he just sits there waiting, and they're like, well, I mean, he's being good. He deserves some of the rabbit, so they feed him some of the rabbit, and then he just goes and lays down and goes to sleep. So he protects the kids because he can sense when, like, the bad aliens are coming, and since he's been with the kids since they were young, like, he wants to protect them, which I guess is another thing to, I know, the outsiders is like, well, look, what? I'm sorry, I don't know what just happened.
That was weird.
Yeah, this happens sometimes, but we'll just keep talking like nothing
What
happened.
I'm here.
So the dog always, points out when the bad aliens are near, so they can use that as like, hey, these kids aren't bad because this dog is not freaking out. Okay.
Okay.
That's it. And then...
Lastly, we have Killadelphia. This is issue number 1. Sins of the Father, part 1. You read this a while ago, you said?
Yeah, I read the preview at work, but I can't... Like, when I was flipping through this, the only thing that I really remember from it is the main character here is going home to bury his father.
Yeah.
Who... They're either, like, estranged or they just don't, like, get along.
Seems like a little bit of both.
Yeah, so...
Troubled past.
Right. So he kind of uncovers a secret that his father has been hiding. And I believe, if I remember correctly, he discovers this secret, like, from journals.
Yep.
And it's also with a mortician who had...
Or morgue? Somebody who works in a morgue?
Right, that's a mortician.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I wanted to do for my job. My career, yeah. A forensic pathologist. But anyway, yeah, she worked alongside his father, so she knows a lot of the things that he was doing while he was in the Force before he died. So it is it's a vampire story.
I really liked the way they, like, revealed it and did everything. I really enjoyed the little snippets of journal entries and how basically this dude was just thinking his father was full of shit and ends up going to the morgue and talking to the doctor, and she was like, no, this is real, and shows him some stuff.
Yes.
Opens his eyes.
And I really enjoy the fact that, what just happened?
Nothing.
I just like the whole reveal, I guess, or how the story is told, because it's narrated through his father's journals, which I really like when stories do that. I don't know why. It's very interesting to me.
It was also interesting that it was, like, in cursive.
Yeah.
Which was cool.
Yeah, I like that too. I like the little personal touches on that kind of thing, which is why I think I like when it's narrated by certain people, and the narration text is, like, way different than any of the other text. Chris Rock says, it's the best graphic novel I've ever read. 5 times more graphic and 8 times more novel. So we're going to take that man's word for it, and we're going to keep it on my poll.
Yeah, I figured I will, because I'm just interesting enough to grab my attention. I also really liked the art. I really liked how, like, gritty it looked.
Oh, yeah, and the fact that, like, the past is, like, black and white, and the present is colored.
I didn't even notice that.
Really?
Yeah, I must have been, like...
Well, not black and white necessarily, but, like, the older...
The muted tones.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I totally just did not catch that.
I'm a sucker for that kind of detail. Like, I love when books do that. Like, with that, Nomen Omen, where it's, like, she's colorblind, so everything in, like, her point of view is all black and white.
Yeah.
And, I really like that kind of stuff. It's written by one of the writers of American Gods and... What did I say the other one was? Runaways. Marvel's Runaways. Which I have no opinion on either of those because I've never watched them, but I just thought it was interesting that he was a writer for those shows. That's it. That's all we got today.
Oh, I guess we should announce our winner on here really fast because I'm pretty sure that you are watching. Because DJ Woodhouse, you won the White Trees 2 issues because you went hard on the comments.
I thought you said... Okay, I mixed up the words and thought you called it DJ Whitehouse. And I was like, damn, that's sick. But it's Woodhouse, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, DJ Woodhouse. Yes.
So, we'll send you a message. We'll get a hold of you. We'll get you your comics.
Yes.
So, thank you for participating.
Yes, thank you. It was fun. We'll do another one.
Yeah, we'll do more. We'll figure it out. Get something maybe people want or not. Who cares?
I don't know why anyone wouldn't want the... I'm not even going to get it. I'm not even doing it. I don't have time for this today.
But once again, as always, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for putting up for us. Yes. Thank you for putting out for us.
Yes. Thank you for excusing my little gagging today.
And go buy comics. Have a wonderful, wonderful Thanksgiving.
If you believe in it.
I don't believe in turkeys.
I don't either.
Okay, goodbye.
Goodbye.
I don't believe in turkeys.
I don't believe in it.